over here. Anticipation, staging, timing, exaggeration, arc, appeal, squash and stretch, overlapping, and secondary action. Now, what are these strange words I just mentioned? Well, that's what animators today in the field live by. Those are the 9 principles of animation. Everyday animators are constantly honing their skills in every principle, and as a beginning animator, I myself have a little trouble putting all these principles into my animations. But according to an animator I'm going to be talking about today, the best thing I can do is practice, practice, practice. Today I'm going to be talking about Victor Navone. Who is he? Well, he's a very successful animator in the field who has worked on many movies that we as an audience love. I'm going to talk about skills he has, education, work history, and any advice he has for new animators on what we can do to put ourselves above others that are in the field today. So I'm going to start off talking a little bit about him. He started animating on his own as a side thing in 1998. He's a traditional artist and a computer animator, and he has a degree in fine arts at the University of California. Now, we all know that getting into the field and graduating is another thing entirely. Alien Song became a popular viral clip on the internet, and he was hired as a full-time animator in 2000. He got his name put out to Pixar through Alien Song. Since then, he has worked on Monsters Incorporated, Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, and his most recent one, WALL-E. So, before he started working at Pixar, some skills that he picked up were graphic design, comic book coloring, and 3D graphics through other careers before. Some software he had, 3D Studio and AutoCAD, and then Maya and Photoshop, which are some that I'm currently working in today. He currently works at Pixar and is now working on their newest film, Inside Out. He also teaches at an online animation school through his blog. Animation, rigging, and modeling are some of the things he teaches, along with lighting, texturing. I visited his blog, and I know I've watched some of his tutorials. They were interesting. They went up to like tutorial 300 on just one aspect alone. Before working at Pixar, he worked at a small company called Presto Studios. He worked there for 5 years, and looking at an interview with Navone, he compared the two. Presto was very laid back, very playful. Pixar had a casual and fun atmosphere, so they were both the same in that kind of aspect. Presto was a small company, which meant more roles to play, more roles to fulfill, more work that he could do. Work at Pixar is intimidating, but also more inspiring because you're working with artists that are around you and you see the work that they do. But the bar is set very high for the kind of work that's expected of you at Pixar. You get a lot of feedback from talented animators, get critiques on your animations. They can see things that your eye doesn't, and it'll help you improve in the long run. It had the same playful spirit as Presto, but was a lot larger and more diverse population. There was also a lot more exposure and prestige at Pixar Studios. And then also during that interview, he compared, he was asked the question, what can beginning animators do to get themselves above everybody else? Well, one thing that they can do is have art as a background. Art will help you out a lot. You can put your poses out on paper, draw your animation poses on the paper, and then transfer it to the computer and animate those poses, and then continue animating the rest of it. And a quote that he used in the interview was, "A solid foundation in art informs any creative work you do in subtle and profound ways." Another thing that employers really like is acting ability. You need to be able to act out your animations, make your movements exaggerated, and then from there the animators take it into the computer and then they exaggerate the movements even more. Competition in the field is very high in this industry, so it's important to start off where you can. Do not just graduate from college and expect to get a job at DreamWorks, because you're not going to have a job. So get critiques from others, family members, people, other artists, other animators. It'll help you out a lot in the long run. And maintain your blog. I have a blog that I upload all my work on. It's required for school. And you can tell a lot from your blog. Organization, where you've been, where you're going, what kind of work you've done, what kind of improvements you've had. So you want to remember that when going for an animator, the most important thing is that your asset, the most important asset is your title. Make a name for yourself, just like how Victor Navone did. Alien Song got his name out there and got him recognized. The best thing I can do as an animator is practice, 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 and remember my animation principles.
Show everybody.
What do you think I'm doing?
Hey,